from NBC News. This is Today.
As parents welcome the structure back to school season brings into the house, their kids may be feeling a little anxious about returning to the classroom.
Well, take notes because we've got help. Dr. Alex Barsby is the assistant clinical professor of child and adolescent psychiatry at NYU School of Medicine, as well as the host of Serious Radios about our kids. And Dana Points is the editor-in-chief of Parents Magazine. Welcome, ladies.
Hey, ladies.
So now's about the time, though, you start getting the tingling and the anxiety
and
attacks.
It's pretty common, isn't it, for kids to feel anxiety before they head off to school?
It's very common. Anxiety is really a normal response to stress. Things like taking tests, dating, public speaking, these are all things that cause us some fear and apprehension. The way to think about it is really anytime something is unfamiliar and you'd like to do well, but you're afraid you won't, you might get anxious. And think about what kids are facing with the start of school. Everything is new friends, new teachers.
Even if it's the same school they've been at before, it is a new teacher.
The same, right? And with certain transitions, like transitions into middle school, the classrooms are larger.
Well, if you talk about young kids who are going, the ones who are first timers, there's a lot of anxiety there. And I know parents aren't sure what to do. Do they stay? Do they just tell them to buck up and get into the classroom?
I don't think you want to say buck up, but you do want to prepare the child for the fact that you're going to be leaving them with a teacher. Ideally, you will have walked the school building with your child beforehand, kind of familiarized yourself. And then I think many parents sort of don't want to let go, but you have to say to your child, goodbye, I'm leaving you with your teacher, Mr. or Mrs. So-and-so, and then you really have to leave.
But how do you know if it's a real issue? Like, let's pretend your child's really
throwing
upset in the classroom.
Yeah,
how do you know when you should do something different?
I think you need to listen to the teacher. The teacher's going to give you the signal that this is beyond what is normal for a very young child.
Because they know. They've been through it before,
They've been through it before. And also, we know that normal anxiety is transient. It comes and goes.
Yeah.
Children might be anxious for a few days. They might even have tantrums. They might cry. They might be tearful at this age. That's okay. With a good system and a good teacher, they'll acclimate and they'll adapt. It's when the anxiety lasts way longer than it should that it might be a problem.
Should the parent ever go in the classroom and stand in the back or do anything like that, like some parents do?
Different schools have different programs, different entry programs, so speak with your school and see what they do.
Isn't that prolonging the problem? I mean,
I think the teacher will say, leave the child with me for the most part. Back away, say goodbye, and then when you see the child after school, don't say, oh, did you cry for a long time? You say, how was school today? What was the most fun thing you did?
Right. Okay, tweens and teens have a different kind of anxiety that may not be about the teacher.
Bikini waxing.
Top of the list.
Who's not scared of that?
What are some
at that age, what happens is that they start to have more control over the things that they're doing. And so what you often find with an anxious tween or teen is a lot of avoidance if they're anxious about something. Typically, tweens, we know, are anxious about social situations.
Yeah.
They want to fit in. They want to belong. They want to know that they can make friends and keep friends. This is also the day of cyber technology, so, they're IMing and texting, and this is also when we start to see some bullying take place, both face-to-face bullying and cyberbullying. Parents need to be informed. That's my advice to parents.
So what do you do if your kid's, going through a difficult time? What should a parent do?
Well, I think you want to kind of get to know the peers of your child and the families. Go to after-school activities. If there are sports events that you can go to as a family, you don't want to pry too much. You do want to listen. You want to be very receptive to what your child is telling you, but don't pry too much. Don't make them feel like they have to hold back.
And watch for changes in their personality, I would think.
Yes, that's what we see. Those are the symptoms. Any change from normal functioning in terms of appetite and sleep and irritability and mood, tearfulness, those kinds of things.
All the things I've been showing you
lately. No kidding. Right? Ladies, thank you so much. It's good advice. All right, still to come, decorating 101 for college dorm room.
Plus glazed steak and dirty rice.
Dirty.
That's
you
right.
Like anything dirty.
Down and dirty rice after your local news.